Welcome to Standard 15A. The goal of this presentation is to help us describe the beliefs, sacred writings, traditions, and customs of major world religions. Our essential understanding for this standard is going back to our 5 world religions that we learned about in World 1, understanding that they've had a very profound or large impact on our culture and civilization of the world that we live in. Okay, the essential question that we're looking for here are what are some of the characteristics of these 5 world religions? Who are the founders? What are the names of the sacred writings? What are some of the practices and beliefs of these religions? Quick review of the 5 world religions so we know which ones we're talking about. We're really talking about Buddhism, Christianity, Hinduism, Islam, and Judaism. And if we take a look at our pie chart here, if we add up our percentages, Christians, Muslims, Hindus, Buddhists, and Judaism falling in this purple slice here of other religions, we're looking at roughly 3 out of every 4 people on earth belonging to one of these 5 religions. That's where the title, The World Religions, comes from. Again, not saying that there's not other religions that people belong to on the planet, but we're looking at roughly 75% of the world's population belonging to these 5 world religions. I'm occasionally asked by students, why do we need to know this? What's the importance of it? And I usually use pizza as an example, and let me be very clear, I'm not in any ways a religious expert. I'm not pretending to have all the answers or be able to explain in depth the details of these religions. But just let's picture the situation where you have friends of different religions coming over to your house and you're just planning on doing something simple like ordering a pizza. For people who are religious, it's such a big part of their makeup. It's such a part of who they are and their identity. Even if you belong to a different religion or you have no religion at all, it is kind of important to have some sense of other people's beliefs. Okay, we can look at something like ordering a pizza. Some of your Christian friends at different points during the year, such as during Lent, some of them won't be able to eat meat on a Friday. So things like pepperoni or sausage are out. For your Hindu friends, there's a prohibition on eating beef. Okay, so any kind of beef topping you're going to have to do away with in order for them to eat the pizza. Your Muslim friends, Islam having a prohibition on pork products. Okay, there goes the pepperoni, there goes some of the other pork products. Some of your Jewish friends, for some Jews who keep what they call kosher, the mixing of dairy product and meat product together is problematic. So there goes any kind of meat being added to a cheese pizza. So the simple act of ordering a pizza without some knowledge of religious background can create some issues. Okay, and that's the example that I use for why having a simple understanding of religions, whether or not they're your own or somebody else's, is important as you go out there into the world. Okay, so we'll take a look and we'll keep right to the standards here in terms of what we need to know. We need to know a little less than you learn in your World 1 classes about these world religions. You spend a good bit more time on these religions as they're founded. All 5 of these religions were founded during the World 1 era, not during our World 2 course. So we're really kind of looking more generally at these religions. Okay, going through the religions alphabetically, we'll start with Buddhism. Our founder for Buddhism was Siddhartha Gautama. Okay, you may remember from your World 1 classes, he was an Indian prince, okay, in India, where the religion began, but in order to find large numbers of followers, Buddhism left India and spread into East and Southeast Asia, and that's where the majority of Buddhists are in the world today. The Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path. Those are two terms we want to associate with Buddhism as beliefs and part of the religion. We also want to remember from our World One courses that spread of Buddhism into East and Southeast Asia was largely accomplished through missionaries sent out by a guy named Asoka. Okay, so these are all buzzwords and key terms we want to associate here with Buddhism. The Four Noble Truths, the Eightfold Path, Asoka, and of course the founder, Siddhartha Gautama, known to practitioners of Buddhism as Buddha. Okay, Christianity. A good vocabulary word for us to know is monotheism. As you probably know, mono words in English refer to one. Okay, whether it's a monocle, one eyeglass, a monorail, one rail. Monotheism refers to a one God religion. For Christians, the belief of Jesus as being the Son of God, okay, Jesus being the founder of the religion, a belief in life after death and afterlife being a key part of Christianity. We want to know the term the New Testament, referring to the portion of the Bible, the Holy Book for Christians, that has to do with the life and teachings of Jesus. And going back to our World One course, the importance of those early Christian council meetings. Okay, you might remember the Council of Nicaea and things along those lines that really set the stage and set the practices and doctrines of the early church. Okay, Hinduism. For Hindus, the belief in many forms of one God. We see many beliefs in Hinduism in common with Buddhism, one of them being reincarnation, the idea of your rebirth being based on your karma, and your karma being the knowledge that all thoughts and actions result in future consequences. Okay, in other words, and again, not pretending to be a religious expert, but to give an example, you find my wallet lying on the floor in the hallway. You have one of two choices. You can either return it to me or to the main office, or you can stick it in your pocket. Probably not going to find much money in it, and walk off with it. Okay, your karma is going to improve if you do the first one. You bring it to the office or you return it to me. Your karma is going to be hurt if you just walk away with it. Okay, Hinduism and Buddhism, both developing in the same part of the world, are going to have quite a few beliefs in common. Okay, likewise, Christianity, Islam, Judaism will see quite a bit of overlap as well. Okay, in Islam, again, we want to associate the word monotheism. The importance of Muhammad, the Prophet Muhammad, and the role he plays in starting the religion of Islam. The Quran, spelled there two ways. You see in older texts with the second spelling there with the K, but more properly with the Q there. The 5 pillars of Islam that you learn in your World One courses, we want to associate that term, 5 pillars, with Islam, and the holy cities and the important role they play in Islam of Mecca and Medina. One of those 5 pillars of Islam being the requirement to make a pilgrimage to Mecca at some point in a Muslim's life. Again, just a quick reminder that the terms might be a little bit different if you're not of this faith background. The person who practices the religion Islam is Muslim. Okay, and that might be a little bit different if you're if you're not of that faith background and you're thinking Christianity, people who practice are Christians, people who practice Buddhism are Buddhists, and so on. Okay, and Judaism, another monotheistic religion. Again, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. If you were to study those 3 religions, you would see quite a bit of overlap. These 3 religions develop in the same region of the world, so we see quite a bit of similarity. We want to associate the Ten Commandments. Yes, you might also see those in other religions as well. Okay, but the origination of the Ten Commandments within Judaism as a source of moral and religious conduct. And the Torah for Jews is the written records, usually in scroll form. If you want to learn about the beliefs of Jews and learn the written record of the Jewish faith, the Torah is the holy writings, the sacred script of Judaism.